lovely little guy. Hey, how you doing there, huh? Look at this little guy. Hey, hello. How are you today? So this next little part of the video, I wanted to talk a little bit about arriving at your hostel. Now, I've said before I don't really like staying in albergues. So what I like to do though is stay in, a cheap hostel. Once in a while I stay in albergues. So this may not apply to you, some of these tips that I'd like to give you, but they're very helpful to me, and I've done these on 3 Caminos, worked like a charm. So here we go. I've actually taken some notes here on my iPad. There's just so many tips I'd like to share with you. Hopefully it would be helpful. One of the things I really like to do, and I can't emphasize enough, is to arrive at your hostel early and try to check in. Even though they may not say that you can't check in until 3 or 4 or 5, go there as early as you can and knock on the door, get someone's attention, tell them you're there, and a lot of times they'll let you right in. Sometimes they won't, sometimes they will. But I've always done that. I've left early and I've arrived early. And one of the things I like to do that is because of the siesta. And I like to have my big meal in the afternoon anyway. And that's what they do. And so if you can get to your hostel and kind of get checked in and all that, or at least get to it, then you can maybe go around and have your big meal. If you're used to eating late at night, that's one thing. But maybe while you're in Spain, do as they do, and eat that big meal. Get there early. Eat that big meal between, I think, probably noon and 3 or 4, depending on when they close down for their siesta. And then you can get all checked in, put in all of your things. And one of the things when I arrive there, one of the first things I do is I elevate my feet. I take my shoes and my socks off, lay flat on my bed, on my back, and put my feet up on some pillows. And I lay there kind of dormant for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then the next thing I do is I get up and I start washing my clothes. Now, I may wash them in the sink. I may wash them in the shower. I may take them to a laundromat if there's one, if I can find one on Google Maps or something. A lot of times you type in laundromat in your location and they'll pop up. And so a lot of times I'll even get a hostel. If I can find a cheap hostel close to a laundromat, pay dirt, man, pay dirt. So anyway, that's usually what I do. I get there. I get there early. Like I said, I roam around and I try to check in and look for a laundromat, raise my feet up, get those clothes all washed. And one tip I'd just like to share with you is if you are not staying in an albergue, you can still, a lot of these albergues are you can do the same things in, but a lot of these smaller hostels, that charge $20, $30, $40 for a room, they have to pay the utilities. And if you want to try to be a little bit conservative with the long showers and all that, I mean, be considerate of others. Know that they have to pay these bills, and so I love to take a shower in the morning or after when I get there. But I'm constantly thinking about, my mother raised me to conserve everything. And so I'm thinking, well, these people, they're giving me a great deal. That it's a nice room, and I'm not gonna eat up all their utilities here. So just be conscious of that. That's a tip, one of my tips here for arriving at the destination. And let me see, I have a couple other things here. Let me see. Check in early, wash your clothes, eat your big meal before 4 p.m. Like I said, I go to bed early anyway because my schedule is I depart early and I arrive early. And the reason why I do that, one is for the heat. 2 is because I'm an early riser to begin with. 3, I love the sunrises. They're just beautiful in the morning. And it's a lot quieter on the Camino wherever you're at in the morning. And you can hear all the birds, all the nature, all of that. It's just the first couple of hours, just incredible, even if it's a little dark. So you arrive early. And one of my favorite things is after I've washed my clothes, after I've got everything together, I've got my fresh clothes on, and I look at my watch and it's, oh geez, it's only 4 or 5 o'clock. And I usually don't go to bed till 7 or 8. I get up really early. So then that's when I just kind of wander around. I look at the church. I can go inside, I go inside. I just kind of sit out there in the sun, just kind of watch people, look at things, might get another coffee if there's any place open. Just a great time to relax and enjoy the culture around you. And so that early bird system is really, really good. A lot of people, maybe you're like this. You get up a little late. You take your time getting there, which is nice. I'd like to just hit on that, taking your time. When I walk the Camino, I like to walk. So I'll take maybe 1 or 2 breaks in a period of 30 kilometers. I'll walk and then maybe halfway through, if I haven't had coffee, I'll definitely stop and get coffee, whatever. And then I'll take off again. I usually split it up. I'll stop one time and then keep going. I mean, you just keep the pace, and you'd be surprised how quick you can do it and how much you can see without kind of getting. I think they call it the vortex on these big Appalachian through hikes, where you get to a little community or town and you just get drawn in and you're sucked in and you want to stay and stop and all that. Well, if you're like that, that's fine. I'm not like that. I like to hike and I like to look around at the places that I'm staying, and it's worked really, really well for me. The late system, you're always scrambling around. Your clothes aren't ever washed. You're too tired to do anything. All you want to do is eat and go to bed. Okay, the early system, you know, you can avoid a lot of that. I guess another system would be you could get up. You could get up whenever you want, and then try to find a place to do your clothes when everyone's trying to leave the albergue. But it gets really kind of weird, and so I'm just saying, the system that's worked well for me is the early system. You know, early to bed, early to rise, get there early, leave early. And boy, howdy, it's just wonderful. You have a lot of time to relax and all that. So that's pretty much it. I've covered departing. I've covered some of the food we should eat on the Camino, some of the healthy foods and that sort of things. There's a few little tips in there about how to put in your backpack, how to put on your backpack, which some pilgrim showed me that. You know, you just pick it up and throw it up like this, put your arms up, and there you go. There's no trying to sit down and get it on and all that kind of stuff. Works really, really good. And a few other little tiny tips in there. I hope you've learned something from it, and you can walk away saying, well, maybe Father Scott isn't such a bad hiker after all. I don't know. I don't know what you'll take away from it, but if it helps you in any way, you know, fantastic. Okay, that's it for now. Buen Camino.